Hi guys, welcome back to customizing the Millennium Falcon. We're going to look at a bit of the hull. I know I said I wasn't going to do anything to the hull until there was more of it to actually do, so that we would have a consistent colouring across the hull and weathering effect. But I felt that the piece I received, well, it needed work doing before I could do any of that. So hopefully in the future there won't be any more pieces like this, but this is going to be a quick video to, well, just give it a kind of like a base coat then. As you can see, we've got the this is the hull from issue 1, and I've done nothing to this except for spray a little bit of paint there as a test. It's one piece of bit of plastic, and then we get the second bit, which I don't know if it comes out well on the camera, but it's made of a lighter, or cast of a much lighter colour, if you can see that, which is a bit odd. I mean, the weathering's completely different on it. I don't know why. Don't know. I assume these are manufactured in China, so quality control, don't know. I can't really speak for them. So I'm in a bit of a pickle, so what we're going to do, I'm going to spray this piece here to match the base colour of this piece. Obviously there's a little bit of what looks like a wash on there. I'm going to do that, and I will cut to it right now. I was just setting up my airbrush to do a bit of airbrushing on this when I noticed something interesting. So we've got this is the piece from the second edition. We've got our turret from the first episode, which we painted. So if I just remove that, this is really strange. We've got this piece on top which matches that quite well, so it looks like it's probably the same plastic. Underneath, it's kind of the same. This one's got a bit more wash on it, so it is a bit darker. Very odd. Very odd indeed. I haven't really spoken much about this, but I'm not a fan of this painting on here. It's way too clean. Obviously it's China quality control. It looks like this section here was a separate piece and it was painted separately, hence why it looks very, very similar to that section, and it's been pushed on. You can see the holes here where the piece was actually stuck on. Very strange. But this painting here, it's going to have to be redone. Either I'll respray it back to a base coat, or I could darken it, I suppose, with an oil wash. Haven't decided yet, but we'll do a tutorial on it when we get to it. So we've got our piece here. Let's block her face out so we don't have to see her. Obviously you can see it's a different colour, so we want to get it to match. So we did the cannon in the last episode. So we're going to use our Vallejo Air colour, grey RLM, and I'm going to apply that to here with a simple airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, you could probably, well, you could use this, just squirt a bit onto your palette and then just paint it across. You just got to be really careful to do a nice thin coat, otherwise you're going to get streaking on these panels. This project, do you need an airbrush? Maybe. I don't know. Going forward, I think it might be worth investing in one. I don't know. Pop your comments in the comment section, see what you say. But I think it's going to be a lot easier and a lot quicker to airbrush it. But if you don't have an airbrush, can't afford one, painting it won't be a problem. So I'm going to load up this into the airbrush and we'll be right back. Okay, we've got our airbrush now. This is a Harder & Steinbach German company. It's from the Evolution range. We've got our small paint container on the top, but we can also use our large paint container, but we're not spraying that much, so we don't need that one. I've got it set to a very low PSI because you don't need too much. It's just a case of shaking up our paint again and reapply. There we go. Just gonna, I'm not gonna water this down because it's pretty thin. Just do some test sprays. That's come through quite nice. Excellent. I think one of the main key things about airbrushing is you've got to keep your airbrush clean, otherwise you always get these issues where it's blocked when you need to use it. Oh, it's such a pain. Right, okay, so we're gonna airbrush on here and I will do a fast cut of this. So I've decided to make another little snippet on here whilst we wait for that piece to dry. So I'm going to have a close look at this. Because as you can see, I don't know if it's like quality control maybe in China or something like that. If I can get the camera to focus. There we go. Yeah, you can see the wash they've done here is very, very, very inconsistent. You've got this piece on here. And it's fine. It's come off a production line. It's not really much you can expect. So, what do I think of it? It's poor, but as a hobbyist, I can do something about it. I mean, the quality of the actual pieces is very, very good. I've seen a lot of debates on the forums about this top section, which has the turret, because in the original test run, they had half of these windows blocked off with a piece of plastic. Why they changed, I don't know. There's a good theory behind it that maybe we'll get the actual gunner's seat inside and maybe some controls and light up. We don't know yet, but it's a little bit further down the line, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Because on the inside here we've got, they don't look like screw holes, to be honest. They look more like casting. So I'm not really sure how this attaches. Pass. But if you do notice, they don't include everything as a solid piece. So if I zoom in a bit, on the original miniature, when they filmed it, they had like a metal section on here. There's 2 holes here for more bits. There's another hole up by there. 2 holes there. And then you've got sections on the front. I get the camera to focus. It's not going to focus. Yeah, you've got more sections to input more stuff. So it says something when they didn't cast it as a whole piece. It means that they are putting a proper job into it, which is pretty good if they're providing all these extra stuff. So that's impressive. I really like that. Cool. My camera's zooming in and out. Another thing to look at is this. They've actually gone for the whole, if I can get it to zoom in. You gonna focus today? No? Okay. Zoom out a bit. I'm not sure how well you can actually see this bit. This section here has got pitting, where laser strikes or stuff has hit it. The same on some of the other sections on here. Instead of just like painting on battle damage, they've actually damaged the hole. You can see by there. So that's pretty cool. Right, let's get back to the main piece. So we're still waiting for that piece to dry, so I thought, maybe we should tidy up the main piece. So I've started spraying on here, so I'm going to do a time lapse and we will get back to this piece. So there you go, folks. That's the spraying. It's done as much as I want. I didn't set out to do this, but I thought because we're spraying one piece, we might want to, well, when we go to weather it, might as well have it all at one even consistent stage where the paint is consistent from the entire model. There is a slight difference from the factory piece and the actual paint, but they go together a lot better now. Obviously, what you saw in the previous bit was me shading all the high areas around and leaving a little bit of what weathering they did at the factory when they produced it. Obviously, I can get that to match on the other side, but I want to get a bit more hold before I do that. It's going to be possibly maybe an oil wash or something. I'll go over this section as well. Yeah, so we've got a nice starting point now, which is great. A nice consistent colour throughout the miniature. I said I wasn't going to paint it. I'm sorry, I have a little bit. Only a little bit, just base coating it, so everything is the same when we start painting further stuff on there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. The little sneak peek of the next video will be to do with the cockpit chairs. So stay tuned to watch that. There's a little bit of news that looks like they're bringing the series to the US in March. So keep your eyes peeled for that, all my American viewers. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.